Hello my friends, and welcome to another pick a card reading. I hope that this reading is finding you in an amazing place, in a good place, in a settled place, and somewhere where you will find this reading useful. Sending you all lots of love wherever you are. There's a lot of stuff going on with the world at the moment, so yeah, I don't know, the energy is quite unsettled, so I hope that this reading helps you. What is blocking your energy right now? We've got 3 piles as always to choose from. Pile 1 is this botryoidal hematite. Pile 2 is this blue falcon's eye. And pile 3 is this black moonstone. So, pile 1, botryoidal hematite. Pile 2, blue falcon's eye. Pile 3, black moonstone. As always with these readings, my friends, do use your discernment. If a message doesn't resonate with you, do remember that this is a reading for the collective, a general reading on YouTube. So not all of the messages may resonate. It might be useful for someone else. So just keep that in mind. But otherwise, pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, timestamps will be in the description box below, my friends. What's blocking your energy right now? See you at your reading. Bye. Hello, pile 1, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the botryoidal hematite. The thing that's coming up to me about this hematite in particular is that this used to be used as a pigment in makeup and also in like making, like for ochre, I think ochre. Not ochre. I don't know how you say it. It's basically the pigment that they used to that they crushed it up and used it as pigment raw, like things. So be that like paint or whatever. I don't know. Sometimes it would come out like that kind of reddish brown. Can you see? That's why this stone is called hematite, because it would come out like the color of blood almost. Have this kind of like reddish kind of vibe with like the iron ore. And I think what Spirit is trying to tell me from this is that 2 things. Either that by you making your mark on something has caused a bit of a stir, or that something is trying to place a mark upon you. I think it's more the first one, that it is that you are trying to make your mark somewhere. And the minute that you try to make your mark somewhere is when people start to say something against that. Yeah, that's the energy I'm kind of getting. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, wow, we've got Dogma, which is number 25. Okay. Wow, that's really interesting. I've never received that card before. So let's have a look at what it means. 25. When Dogma finds us, it asks, are you sure? Okay, before I go into that, there's usually a beautiful poem that kind of like accompanies this, so I'm going to share that with you. Soaring on our heart's golden wing, cutting from one world to the next, feeling the rising power pulsing, and all the life down below. They will never understand those eyes that can't see. Yes, we can see further, but we can fall further too, and this power can cut, if not shaped, into love. Wow, That's pretty intense. Okay. Difficulty understanding others. Ah, interesting. Releasing attachment. And it came up right, so that's what we're going to read it as. So when dogma finds us, it asks, are you sure? It's easy to believe we're right about something, to view this world about our own to view this world from our own expectations or experiences, and sometimes to adopt belief systems that make it easy to categorize things into good v bad and right v wrong. When we're in a dogmatic space, we may be struggling to understand other people and their actions. Interesting. We may be intellectualizing our feelings. This is the whole thing I said about like your mark, and also somebody trying to place a mark on you because they're having an expectation about you, or they have some kind of judgment, opinion of you, right? What does it say? We may be instead of allowing ourselves to feel the sadness or anger coming up, we default to, I would never do what they did. Interesting. Very interesting. I love these cards. Other times when dogma comes up, when we have really good intentions about helping the people around us, when we spend a lot of time working on ourselves and have found relief, when we may believe that everyone would benefit from what we've done, whether we're actually offering advice or just saying it to ourselves in our head, this isn't a good space to be in. If we're living in that headspace, we are aligned to the idea that we know best, but we only know what's best for us, not for anyone else. Okay, I was a bit confused by that. We want to support everyone we love by having their own agency and sovereignty, and trusting that their journey is exactly where they need, even if it's painful. Okay, I'm going to comment on this. Dogma invites us to release any attachments that we have to how other people live their lives, whether this is a partner or a parent or a friend. We want to support people to be the best version of themselves, while also allowing them to find growth however they need. This is a big one, pile one. Often we want people to be different because it helps us to feel safer. So if you're feeling dogmatic, remember that you can create safety within yourself, right? Shit, that's fucking deep, man. Okay, right. So, sorry if you can hear some noises outside. I've got some noisy neighbours. So this is about a judgment call. This is about the judgment that we place upon ourselves and we also place upon others. This is why I was getting the feeling about this mark, the idea of like, that this was used as an ink to like make things. And the thing that was coming to my mind, actually, funnily enough, is when like on ancient old cave paintings, they had like the paintings of where they placed their hands, and then they used their spit or they blew onto it to make the thing of the hand. And it's funny that we've got this hand here as well. And often, we've got a certain idea about why they did that, but we have no true idea about what they did. They did that because they did that. I don't know why. We have no idea why. And I think, having that understanding that you may never know why. And trust me, this is really hard as a Gemini, because I love to analyze things and know exactly why people are doing things. But sometimes we just not knowing why is a good reason to just kind of walk away. We don't have to know the why. So maybe there is something here that is saying that like there's something that you feel like it should be a certain way and it's not. And that might be a block. And remember, my friends, my tarot readings are here to empower you. They're here to... My belief in the tarot is that I show you a timeline, okay? I show you several different timelines. You have a choice whether or not you want to walk that timeline or not. I say the same things to my clients as well. That is what the tarot is for. I will show you a timeline. It is up to you whether or not you walk that path or not. That might come true. It might not, depending on whether or not you decide to walk the path. It is not my thing to, like, nothing is written in stone. And we all have, like, agency and choice of whether or not we decide to walk that path, okay? So I'm just saying here, you've got a choice whether or not you want to kind of reside in that sense of dogma, or you want to move away from that, you know? That's why, you know, I say at the end of my readings, honesty is always key. The more honest you are with yourself, the more agency you have over your choices and the ability to be able to react in a really powerful way. And you can really understand what the true meaning of manifestation is for yourself. That's what I love about the tarot. So please do take that into account with this reading. This is to empower you, not to kind of say, you know, you're kind of doing something that's, you know, oh, you're being dogmatic. It's not a telling off, all right? Wow. So you've got, which is funny because this is actually a bit of a telling off. Kairos. Well, kind of. Interesting with these blues, with these gorgeous light blues. Kairos is one of the bigger cards in this deck. One of the main ones. And this one is mythic time, synchronicity. We have all had the experience of timelessness, of life beyond the ticking of the clock. It may be felt as time standing still in slow motion or losing track of time on a walk or in a lovely conversation. This is known as mythic time. It is the territory of Kairos. The card suggests that there is a secondary time continuum that goes beyond any earthly clocks and schedules. Within this non-linear realm, we access divine timing. A single moment ripens with auspiciousness, and our actions change the trajectory of our whole life. What was I just saying about timelines? Time becomes a living thing that watches over us and tells us precisely when to speak and when to act. When this card appears, it is all about patience and precision. No clock can guide you. Wait for the rush of the inner knowing and not a moment longer. And here it says, compare the Greek words chronos and kairos. This will guide you to understanding of logos and mythos. Okay. And then we've also got the word evil comes from the root word unripe. Consider that everything has a time of ripeness. When it becomes a nourishing fruit, it is sweet to the lips. Interesting. And then we've got here, when it's in alignment, it's ease in decisions and actions. And when dark, it's fighting against the time. Okay. So there's something about going against the flow here. I don't know if there's been something that where you feel that you need to like rush forward into a space, you need to go forward and do something, when actually you don't need to do that. Is there a space where you're rushing, where you're doing something that's not really wholly necessary for you to do that? Yeah, that's really interesting. Let's have a look, a little deeper look with some astrology. I love the colours though, the colours of the cards with this kyanite. I love that, it's so good. And kyanite is about truth, you know, it's about you seeing the clarity. Let me just remind myself as to what logos and mythos is, what's those things, because I don't want to say something that I don't really, like, I'd rather know what it is and speak to you about it. Okay, look, mythos and logos are two ancient Greek words that refer to two different ways of thinking and acquiring knowledge. Mythos is associated with storytelling and folk knowledge, while logos is associated with rational analysis and logic. So the mythos and logos, a belief system. Mythos is a belief system based on the stories and myths about goddesses, gods, and heroes. Logos is the way of thinking that uses logical and rational analysis to understand the world. Okay. So... okay, so it's that whole thing of going from the stories of like ancient Greece, so going from stories into rational thinking. Okay, this is interesting, this is developing quite interestingly. So this is all about a massive perception shift that needs to occur in order for you to move forward. I don't know, I feel like possibly you might have like marked something with a certain way of being, or it could be that you might have judged something in a certain way. First house reversed, okay, yeah. That's deep shadow, okay. I chose the right cards then for the tarot. This is my shadow deck. So I was thinking, oh, it's only a blockage. Does it have to be shadow? But yeah, it did. It came out for the right reasons. So I haven't used this deck for a little while. First house reverse says to me about you in denial of a sense of self. There's some shadow stuff that's happening that you're denying yourself of. Maybe some unresolved trauma as well that might have happened in the womb because of this card. It could also be stories that you're telling yourself, things that have been handed down to you. Could be a little bit of generational trauma. We'll find out. But that first house is something to do integrally with personality. So let's have a look. Okay, so we've got the 4. We've got the 8 of Wands reversed. Will that go up higher? 8 of Wands reversed. By the way, the numbers we have at the moment are that's 70, 75... 25, 75, 75, 7 plus 5 is 12. That equals to the Hanged Man. And then we've got 25, which is 7. That's the Chariot. So there is an urgency for a different perspective already. That's highlighting itself. Knight of Swords, the 6 of Cups, and the King of Pentacles. Okay, yeah. It could be to do with like some kind of thing that happened when you were young. I don't know if it's necessarily like generational trauma. I think it's more to do with a core memory that's happened when you were younger. So it might be just kind of maybe some reaction to trauma or something. I don't know. But it's something to do with like about fears and beliefs. And this has been something that you've actually like been telling yourself as a story in terms of like how things are. So it could be that. I don't know, like it's not as simple as like, oh, I have this belief about, you know, so and that this should be this way. I think it's more to do with the fact that something happened to you when you were younger that was good, but it might have happened at the expense of someone else. And what's happened is that basically you've kind of taken on that principle, and it's quite integral, it's quite core. It feels that like it feels like it was something that you really have built maybe quite a bit on, to be honest. And we've just had a new moon. I know this is timeless, but we've just had a full moon, right? That is about cutting cords and cutting emotional ties. This is about you stepping out. And I don't know, I think this is a catalyst, or this has been triggered by you wanting to make a new start in your life. Like you want to do something different. and you're like, there's something happening here, but I can't actually like move forward as much as I would like to. And the reason is because we're seeing that there's been some kind of like patterning that's been happening. And trust me, it's gotten you quite far. Yeah, I'm not saying that this has been a bad thing, but I think that if you want to go further, there's something else that you're going to have to consider. There's a different perspective that you're going to have to consider. Some of you may be hitting like a kind of glass ceiling in things. Like you may feel that you reach a certain plateau. It might be that you know, you feel that you are privy to all of the things that you want, but it almost feels like you just don't get there. And I'm getting that by this, you know, this kind of like glass ceiling kind of thing. For those of you who don't know what a glass ceiling is, it's kind of like that, you know, we reach a kind of stage where we don't know what is stopping us. Be that a job, be that like, oh, interesting. This is one of the other cards. This is challenge. I hope you can see that. Just, okay, cool. I might place that over there so that we can just get some more kind of, there we go, that's better. So challenge. I was going to joke and say with this hot guy there, yeah, but I'm just going to say, yeah, that's really interesting because that could be a distraction, you know? Yeah, it could be a distraction. Okay, and then we've got strength reversed and the 8 of Wands reversed. Okay, interesting. No, I don't want them. 3 of Swords reversed. Yeah, I think it's like, I think you might not have really liked the way you behaved in the past. Like it could be that you like was friends, like you were in a friend group and you may have not behaved in the best way with someone, you know, but you had a good time, you were all right, but then something, maybe it was at the expense of someone else or something. Wow, King of Pentacles again. The scenario I'm thinking is that, or I'm seeing is that, like, you know, you say you had like a friendship group where, you know, you benefited from this friendship group, but then it might have involved you having to do some things that may not have been the nicest. I'm not talking about like, you know, really bad, but just, I don't know. And then we've got, yeah, so we've got challenge, we've got strength reversed, we've got the 3 of Swords reversed, the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, this might be that you're looking to establish some kind of stability. Some of you may even have even met the person that you're with, like that you're meant to be with. And what's happened is that there's just something that's kind of like stopping you from kind of moving forward with this person. And it's because that there's a belief system in place that needs to like change. And it's fundamental to your personality. The strength card reversed that. Yeah, I think there's just a weakness in succumbing to certain patterns of thinking, and that really fucks you up. So that's why you're having to kind of be like, right, where is this? What is this about? And there is some kind of memory that's attached to that, and it's to do with material possessions. It's to do with idealism of sense of self, and also like what you feel like being the queen of things, you know what I mean, or king of things. There's a material aspect to this. That's really interesting. Let's see what your oracle cards have to say. It's not very clear, I'm not going to lie. But maybe I can get a bit more clarity on that. What is your block? What is blocking my pile one's energy? What's blocking my pile one's energy? Okay, right. What I think it is... Oops, sorry about that. What I think it is that you have certain ideals in place in your mind about what you think that happiness is. Maybe you think that you are not there yet, but I think it's really, it's definitely to do with whether or not you feel that you're okay with yourself. And in who you are. Because I don't know, there's just this thing with the dogma. And there's something about like adhering to something of society, something to like, it's some kind of belief that doesn't serve you and you need to let it go. Okay, so we've got the broken, interesting, addiction, damaged and wounded. And we've got 25 again, but it's reversed. I'm going to take it reversed, and the reason why I'm going to take it reversed is because I think that this is something that you're working through, if I'm honest. I think this is something that's being worked through. I don't think it's something that's... I think this is part of the healing journey. It feels like it. It feels like you're on a healing journey and this is like the next layer that's coming up. I've said this a lot in my readings previously, and I feel that most of you that have been on doing my readings, that you're on your journey, you know, you're doing your thing. So that's what I'm feeling right now. I think you might have been on this journey and now you're moving through it. But there's still some kind of dogmatic belief systems that need to be discarded. Whoa, Pluto. Okay. And 7, the Chariot. Okay, so what I would say, right, is that this is hasty stuff. It's hasty. Like, this stuff happens so quickly that you will not notice it. You know, like these kind of reactions, these things happening. So you have to take your time in being able to really observe and understand where your beliefs are. Now, I'm not saying that you need to change your core beliefs, because I don't think you can, to be honest with you. You have your core beliefs, But I think this involves asking yourself, like, why you have those core beliefs, why you have those core values, not beliefs. Because yes, you can change your beliefs. I'm mistaken. I'm sorry. You can't change your values. So the values usually are integral. They of course they can change. Everything can change, but really, like your core values, they usually stay the same throughout your life. So this is a hearkening, calling for you to look at your core values and to see if they align with your beliefs. Because this is really deep. It's not, and I mean, this. What else was it that shows? And the fact that it's the Fool. I think you really want to change. You know that something is not right, so you want something to change. But it's almost like you can't get there, and this is probably why you're watching the reading. So everything has to slow down. You have to slow down. The only way that you can do that is through meditation, really, or whatever meditative practice that you do. But you need to slow down, because when you go fast, you lose strength. You don't have what you need in order to move forward. You can't see the wood for the trees. But the thing is, right, don't be disheartened, because you've got some very good skills. You've managed to kind of acquire some very good skills in this. You've got the King and the Queen of Pentacles. You've got the King of Pentacles twice, which means that you may even have a benefactor that will help you in this space. You may even have someone who is able to kind of make sure that you're okay and you're treating yourself okay, you know? So give yourself some credit for that, okay? Action. Okay. Just double check that this is straight. Not quite. Okay, bear with me. That's a bit better. So what I will say here, pile one, is that this is a challenge. It's not an easy thing, but you have to take small steps continuously on your journey so that you are able to kind of work through this, because this is a deeply ingrained pattern. In my meditation practice for Vipassana, we would say that this is a deeply ingrained sankhara, which is a deeply ingrained pattern belief that needs a lot of attention. Like, we have 3 types of sankharas. We have ones that, and this is the description that they're given, that basically they're based on the aversions and the addictions, the aversions and the cravings, and also the states of ignorance that we have. And depending on how strong those things are, depends on how these descriptions kind of manifest. And the first one is that one is like a line drawn in water. So obviously you draw it in water and it's gone, immediately. The next one is like a line that is drawn in the sand, and it stays for some time, but then it just goes away with the water. And then some of them are like a line that is drawn in the rock, as you are carving this line out in the rock. And this is one of those. So what you're having to do is you're having to like do this kind of process of healing this kind of negative core belief. And it is happening, like it is getting less and less, but it's just a process. And I think and you definitely are getting somewhere with it. Like these two King of Pentacles and also the Queen of Pentacles, you are definitely doing some stuff. And I would also say that like whatever you're doing that helps you to manifest like material wealth in your life and helps you to create a better sense of stability with material wealth in your life is going to aid towards this sense of like allowing you to dissolve this dogmatic state and truthfully transform, because it's a bit tower-like, to be fair. And I don't know, you could get lost in that kind of tower energy, but then the tower's not here. You've just got challenge here. So it's nothing you can't handle. Yes, you do have strength reverse, but I don't know. I think that's like kind of, you just got to remember you've got the King and Queen of Pentacles here. And strength is there, which shows that it's there, but it's just not, it's almost like action. It's almost like a muscle as well. Like you have to build the muscle in order to do this. It doesn't just happen because it needs consistent action. Part 1, I really hope that made sense. It's big work, this one. It's not like it's a kind of like it's a work in progress, this one, very much. So take some hematite and work with the hematite, because that will really help you. Hematite is such a wonderful stone to work with. I love it so much. Yeah. If you enjoyed this reading, pile 1, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. Do hit that bell icon and go to all so that you know when I upload. But otherwise, my darlings, have a wonderful morning, evening, night, or day, whenever you're choosing to watch this. If you care to share, please do in the comments. I always love hearing about your journeys. And just remember that honesty is always key. Bye. Pile 2, hi, and welcome to your reading. So you chose this beautiful blue falcon's eye. What's blocking your energy right now? There's some discernment. Sorry, that's from the last reading. There's some discernment that's going on here that needs to be looked at, and also like the view as well. Like you may need to see things from a higher point of view. You may need to look at things in a particular way so that you can see and gain the best perspective of your situation. Hollow. Number 29. I'm going to leave it like that, but actually no, I'm going to put it like that because it was reversed. So otherwise I'll forget. So let's read it. This usually has some beautiful poetry at the beginning, so I will read that as well. So, but I will hold it like that. I lie amongst the buried sound where there is no rage left, nothing to fight against this cage. Tell me, do I still have flesh to feel? My blood in this earth, or the earth, I have nothing left. I promise you this. Speak of sunrise, but I swear I'm frozen in time. And it's a slow awakening, deep transformation. Interesting. Very interesting. Let's see what the book has to say about this. 29 equates to 11 as well. So hollow reversed indicates that when you're coming out of some darkness, you're coming out of some darkness and some emotional and mental overwhelm. You may be feeling a bit more grounded and noticing that you have access to thoughts and feelings that you didn't have before. This card tends to show up when we are in a slow and deep transformational process with small but meaningful shifts. It's really interesting. That describes pile 1, so check that out if you were attracted to that. This card encourages you to keep going, but to trust the timing. And there is no need to speed things up. Things are happening even if you can't feel or see them. Interesting. Okay. And I've experienced, she just says about the art of this card, which I just think is interesting. When I've experienced my hollow moments, it feels like I've pulled so far back into myself that I can't feel anything around me. Such an overwhelming feeling of isolation. I wanted this image to feel desolate, abandoned, and still. Interesting. Okay. So what I'm getting is that maybe there's some need for you to look at the place where you are right now and being okay with that, being okay with where you stand right now, being all right with where you are. 11 is a master number, so it means that you're in the right place. Things are happening in the right place and the right time for you. What is blocking my pile 2's energy? What is blocking my pile 2's energy? What is blocking my pile 2's energy? Quite a lot by the looks of things. Yes. The Starborn. Okay. So there's a feeling of possibly burden. Yeah, feeling of misalignment and loss of longing. Okay. And loss of longing. Loss of longing. That's weird. Okay. Interesting. Have your chart read, your star chart read. Study your constellated shape. Ask questions. What does the process conjure in you? Faith or mistrust? What would happen if you saw the galaxy of your ally? When this card appears, don't be surprised if you receive a surge of desire for a long-lost dream, one you haven't visited since childhood. Let this desire shake you up. Okay. There we are. So, you need to, it's interesting how we've got two like round shapes that are kind of broken as well here. So it's almost like something's breaking out. I don't know if you have like found something that, I don't know, you may have had a tower moment, or there may be something where you just feel that, you know, you're rekindling something. Yeah. There's a rekindling, and it may have stirred some shit within you, and you're like, what the fuck? Like, so let's have a look. I need to do tarot on this first. I wanted to do tarot after I did that one, but I don't know, these cards always want to come out first. The Empress energy, yeah. Giving birth can be uncomfortable, man. Okay. So we've got the Ten of Wands reversed. Wow, okay. Okay, so we've got the Ten of Wands, strength. I'm just going to sneak that up there. There we go. It could also be that you're feeling hollow, you know, that you feel like quite empty, and you need something to help you feel better about life, to feel good about life again. And this is about a sense of rediscovery that's happening, because I think that there was something that you may have had to give up when you were younger. It could be that like some of you like ended up like getting pregnant or something, like that's just an example. Or you've ended up like you've had to have kids, or when you got married then you decided to have kids and whatnot, and then you haven't been able to fulfill your desires and your wants and your needs, really. But there is a sense of injustice here where you haven't been allowed to fulfill your true desires, and it feels like now is the time, because you kind of know, it feels like that there's been this thing that you've been going through in life, that you've created something nice, but it isn't really what you want. It also could be that you followed like a particular career path, and it's made you very strong, it's made you very stable, to be fair. But now you know that you need more. The Ten of Wands reversed, I do think that that's possibly like, you know, it's the same thing like when someone, like I've met so many people that were in the corporate game and then they've ended up changing and doing other things, and then they've ended up doing really well at it. It kind of, it's amazing, but you know, they like that they're doing that, and it's harsh that they've had to go through that realization, but they have created a sense of stability for themselves, and they know that, so they can like actively pursue it. Actually, I do know someone that's actually done that recently. She's just quit her corporate job and she's decided to become a shamanic practitioner. And she's loving it. Opposition. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, you may have thought that it was not possible previously. You may have thought that this thing was not something that you would do. It would not be something that would be like... Sorry, excuse me. I'm just going to move the camera slightly. It would be something that you didn't really kind of think was possible. But I think that something like purposefully pushed you out of the way. I think that there was something that was quite unfair that happened to you that didn't allow you to, you know, do this. To do what you were meant to do. Let's have a look at that. You know, the feeling I'm getting with this set of readings is that you have to be very quiet to be able to see these blocks. They're not easy to see, these ones. These ones are quite covert. Because, yeah, they're quite hidden. And I think that's because of the depth of your work. I honestly think that the people that come to my readings are very special. Like you're just all an amazing bunch of people. And you've been on this journey and you've done this work. You know, High Priestess here is telling me that you really know your intuition deeply. You know that something, you were destined for more. And there's been like this consistent pull on your energy, like before this moment. And this is pretty big. It's not just random stuff. The flood, purifications, emotion, suppression. See? Suppression. There's definitely been something here where you've not been allowed to express yourself in your truest form, in your purest form. But it's releasing. Number 9. Yeah, there's something that you're able to release now. Okay, let's clarify some of these cards. Okay, the Empress. Where do we have Empress energy? Yeah, with the Starborn. Yeah, because your destiny is really big. Judgment, shit, okay. Transformation, 8 of Cups, yeah, okay. So what I think is standing in your way, pile 2, is like what energy is blocking you right now is that it comes back to the sense of perspective. Like, I don't know if some of you are viewing this thing that you have gone through as some kind of burden or something. Because there's kind of some block here on not being allowed to transform. There is a part of you that is absolutely destined for something massive, but I don't know, like, you need to walk away from any kind of previous injustice. To be honest, I think you're doing it already. 10 of Pentacles. Okay, right. I think you are. You're moving through it, to be honest with you. You're moving through it. So what is blocking the energy? What's actually blocking it? There's something about here. Yeah, it's the lack of satisfaction with your current space. I don't know, maybe you want things yesterday. I don't know. Maybe you want things really quickly. Maybe you're not satisfied with the way it's going. Maybe you believe it should be a different way. Maybe you think that your journey is not supposed to be like that. Maybe you think that your journey should be like an artwork, a clear path. There should be no pain. I don't know. Yeah, it is that, because of the 10 of Pentacles. The 10 of Pentacles is the judgments that we have, the things that we think that it should be a certain way, and it's clarifying the High Priestess. Now, yes, the High Priestess is deep intuition, but it is number 2. Okay, judgment is the end. So, and the Empress, you know, you want to kind of evolve beyond that. Remember, yeah, I'm only looking for blocks here. There isn't much here, to be honest with you. This is just quite minor. That's probably why I can't see it so clearly, because it's just a minor thing. It's not a major thing at all. You're actually well on your way. Venus and Venus. Wow, we got Pluto and Pluto for pile 1. Now we get Venus and Venus for you. That's mad. An Empress energy. This is really amazing. I really think that, you know, you need to get out of your own way. That's what it is. You need to get out of your own way. Make sure that you are allowing yourself to transform. Because, I don't know, there's this sense of dissatisfaction here. 7 of Cups always says to me that it's someone who's not really satisfied with what they've got. And the 10 of Pentacles, it could be a comparison. You know, you could be comparing yourself to others, thinking that you should be like further along than you should be. And you need to love yourself for that, because I think you need to love your journey, and you need to love yourself for every single part of the journey that you are on, because you are fucking beautiful. This is a beautiful reading. Like, you are just the queen here. Regardless of gender, you are just magnificent. But I don't know why you're not. I don't know. This is about your blocks, so. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that confirms it. You need to, like, see that you are doing well. Pile 2. It may not feel like that. It may not look like that. It may not, you know, you may not be feeling that way, but you are. Pile 2, you are on the path. So give yourself a break, all right? Start a gratitude journal or something, because you are absolutely on your way to greatness. Everything is telling me this here. Don't let your past get in the way. I think you are walking away from that. I think you are. I think you know all of this shit, man. Just get out of your own way. Pile 2, I love you. You know that. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you'd like to give it a thumbs up, please do subscribe for more videos. Hit the bell icon to all so that you can get notified of any time I upload. But my darlings, thank you so much. Please share if you want to. I love to hear your stories. It's amazing to hear how things happen for you guys. But otherwise, have a wonderful morning, evening, night or day whenever you're choosing to watch this. And remember, the honesty is always key. Bye. Pile 3, hi, and welcome to your reading. So, what is blocking your energy right now? Black moonstone is always associated with the dark side of the moon. So this is something that's hidden. It's shadow. This is about shadow work. And then we have lark, interesting. And then we have number 40. So interesting. Sorry, as I was coming up closer, it looked like it looked hazy, but it's not. It's just, I don't know what the fuck is going on, but yeah, it just anyway. Okay, lark. Now this deck has a beautiful poem that comes with it, so let's find that and read it to you. Now it was reversed, so we must remember that. I don't remember what the before felt like. I only see that now the seams of existence are bursting open with joy, and every moment spilling out in the cracks I've never cared to notice. It's like the entire universe has recognized itself showing off its magic in every imaginable way, but I know it hasn't. It's my eyes that are now open. And reversed, this is self-protection, fear, and repressed hope. You know what, yeah, right, all the readings have followed on from each other, so it's almost like pile 1 had a message, and then pile 2 was the message that came after pile 1, and this feels like the message that's coming after pile 2. It's mad. Lark reversed is a fearful child hiding and afraid to come out, asking those around them, is it safe yet? You have survived by protecting yourself in the ways you needed to. Those defense mechanisms have served you well. But Lark reversed is here to remind you that the situation has now changed. The threats that you have found before you are no longer the same. You don't have to protect yourself in the same way right now. It is time to tiptoe out when you are alone and it's quiet and there's space for you to dance unwitnessed. The open joy and the good truths that lie within you are asking to be seen and felt and experienced in new ways. Try to visit them as much as you can and let them come out to see the daylight. Shadow. It's almost like you're trying to come to terms with the things that you have learnt in your kind of journey, and now you're wondering whether or not it's right for you to express them. And yes, it is. It's time for you to sing. It's time for you to come out and experience that. And do that. I think you have a duty to do that. Yeah, that came really strong. So it's almost like, like you not singing your song and being who you're meant to be is actually a disservice to the world. Oh my God, that hit me right in the heart. But anyway, yeah, it's like really interesting. Wow, look at that, the pilgrim. Oh my God. Number 20. Beautiful. Does it have any extra info? The wanderer, the traveler, the apprentice. Even in the stillness and meditation, the pilgrim feels the movement of the heart towards what it loves. We all have a deep longing to answer the call, to get unstuck. What are the obstacles between you and the door? Interesting. Okay, so it says here to go deeper, read The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost and Mamine by David White. Bear with me. Okay, you ready for this? Part 3. The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. 2 roads diverged into a yellow wood, and sorry, I could not travel both, and be one traveller. Long I stood, and I looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other, just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though as for that the passing there had warned them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay in leaves, no step had trodden black. Oh, I marked the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence, 2 roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference. Oh, I love that. That's insane. Okay. I'm glad I read that, because that tells me everything. This is almost like if you know, it comes back to what I was saying. If you don't, you lose 100% of the chances you don't take. Amazing. Oh, that's actually made me a little bit emotional, actually. And let me see if this is a poem. I don't know if it is. Mamine by David White. Let me have a look. Okay, this is pretty immense. So sit down, get ready. Okay. Be infinitesimal under that sky, a creature even the sailing hawk misses, a wraith amongst the rocks, where the mist parts slowly. Recall the way mere mortals are overwhelmed by circumstance, how great reputations dissolve with infirmity, and how you, in particular, stand a hair's breadth from losing everyone you hold dear. Then look back down the path to the north, the way you came, as if looking over your entire past, and then south over the hazy blue coast, as if present to a broad future, Recall the way you are all the possibilities you can see, and how you live best as an appreciator of horizons, whether you reach them or not. Admit that once you have got up from your chair and opened the door, once you have walked out into the clean air, towards that edge, and taken the path up high, beyond the ordinary, you have become the privileged and the pilgrim, the one who will tell the story, and the one coming back from the mountains who helped to make it. Wow, that's mad. Okay, so that is called Mamine by David White. If you want, I'll put these two poems in the description box below. I'll put them in the comments, because these are amazing poems. They're so beautiful. And I think that they really illustrated what I was trying to say in, you treading this path. It's almost like this whole idea of like dancing, dance like no one's watching and just continue to dance. There's no need for you to do this for any reason. And do it because you love it. Do it because, it gives your soul what it needs. And also because when you give your soul what it needs and when you do what you're supposed to be doing, then life, you serve life in the best possible way. This is so beautiful. This is so beautiful. Wow, Aries, just do it. Come like Nike. I used to say that when I was younger quite a bit. Just do it. become like Nike. But remember, Nike is also named after the goddess of victory as well. And Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. So this is about you entering things with a sense of careless abandon, a sense of joyfulness and play, a sense of just going for it, you know? Beautiful, really beautiful. And such a nice energy from this. Just saw a card. Wow, justice. Okay, this is exactly how it's meant to be happening for you. Exactly how it's meant to be happening. I love this. There's something a bit soul retrievery about this reading. For those of you who follow my readings, soul retrieval is about parts of your soul coming back to you. And it feels like, you know, and they do eventually, you know, when we heal ourselves, we are able to have parts of ourselves that come back to us. And this is what it feels like. And now you're getting ready to integrate that part of yourself back into... Wow. Yeah. Interesting. This is a time you cannot sit back anymore. You cannot hide under this rock. You have to move into your space and go forward. You're scared. I know you are. But you know it's time. So beautiful, this reading. So beautiful. I actually am feeling really emotional. Actually. Look at that. 2 threes, 2 knights, and the devil reversed. Oh, what a beautiful evolution. Oh my god, this is gorgeous. And look at all these colours. Like, the colours are mad. Like, you've got all these colours here. Just the rainbow has come out, like, from this dark shadow thing, place. Oh, it's beautiful. You know, the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords is really interesting, and there's a wonderful tarot reader that I listen to called Moon Moth Goddess. She is also called Neptune's Child Tarot, and she was talking about how she speaks about the Three of Swords is actually something that I'm feeling is applicable here, that where we think a lot about stuff and then that ends up perpetuating the heartache. So because we think so much about it, it stops us. And what's happened is, I think you're realizing that, you know, and almost like it's jolting you into a sense of like wanting to move and like actually get moving into things and doing things and getting on with it. And you know that you can't stand still, so you have to move forward. And it's almost like you knew that you were kind of distracting yourself with certain things, and you were like, right, okay, now I have to move forward. What's blocking you? What is blocking your energy? What is blocking your energy? Pile 2, 3. What is blocking your energy? What is blocking my pile 3's energy? What is blocking my pile 3's energy? Well, I mean, it's that Lark card reverse. It's like you're too scared to step out for some reason. 9 of Wands, yeah, okay. 9 of Wands reversed. Yeah, you're still scared. Queen of Wands. But you know. You know the truth. Oh my god, Knight of Swords. Wow, okay. The 7 of Pentacles, okay. Five of Cups, yeah, nice. Wow, this is great, this reading so far. Really great. You've got nothing to worry about. You just have to go for it. You just have to go for it. You really do. Your complacency will, like, you'll get fed up of it though. I think you'll like be like, no, I can't stay stagnant. I can't do this. I have to move. You'll move anyway. The only thing I will say, right, which I think that you might be feeling, is that this path may be a bit lonely. Yeah. Yeah. That's all I'm going to say, because I think that's it, to be honest. Yeah, because we've got the Three of Cups here, and then the Three of Cups with the Four of Cups, it's reversed. So this says to me that you're actually taking the Ace of Cups and not sticking with the Three. So it means that you are maybe abandoning things that you may have had to let go of. You're like, you know, some kind of emotional ties or whatever, but you understand the consequences and you know that it's better for you in the long run. And yeah, there is sadness around that. That's what I'm feeling, but that's it. Oh my God. Pile 2 got the same. The Flood reversed. Purification, emotions and suppression. But that's not happening anymore. You're not doing that. You know that you can't do that. You know that you can't suppress this anymore. You have to move forward. You have to. So even though that these are like all blocks in the energy, I don't really think that it's like, I think this is just telling you what you're moving through, to be honest with you. Because I think you are doing it. I think you just have to have faith in yourself, you know? Faith that you are on the path and that you are doing the right thing. Sun and Mars, yeah, you have to go for it. You have to go for it, pile 3. So clear, like it's just, there's nothing really I could say. There's no like in-depth kind of psychological analysis about it all. This is really clear, whereas like pile 1 and pile 2 were a little bit hazy, but this one is so clear. So clear. The path is there for you. It's just waiting for you to walk on it. Dear Spirit, what does some final messages for my pile 3s, please? Can you give me some final messages for my pile 3s? Final messages for my pile 3s. These cards don't often jump out so easily. I have to pick one. Gateway. But it's got a unicorn on it. So it means to me that you need to take a leap of faith. You really need to take a leap of faith to believe that the unreal can be real. Wow, pile 3. That's pretty clear. I hope you enjoyed that reading. I loved it. If you liked it, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. Do hit the bell icon to all so that you can get notified of whenever I upload. But otherwise, have a wonderful morning, evening, night or day whenever you're choosing to watch this. And remember that honesty is always key. Bye.